Alright, people. I worked more on the front today. I put my grill back in here. And that one was already in. So I went and I put that one in. Put that one in. I still got to put that one in. I fixed the headlights where it had some busted brackets. Got those in there nice and snug now. So, I got a special thing going in the center there. So, got to fix that. I was going to put that thing around the back tire back there, but the back bumper's a little bit loose, so I'm going to have to take it off, see what's up with it. Alright, so I'm getting closer and closer to getting done with this thing. Little by little. Alright, I'm going in. Mosquitoes are killing me. Eating me up, people. Alright, people. I've started piecing my front bumper cover back together. I've got 3 pieces there to combine now, and then trim it down, and then I can pull the rest of it off and put it together as one big piece. Alright, that's all I managed to accomplish today. The neon broke down, so Renata took my Cougar, and I got the neon fixed and almost finished that, and then I can get back on my spoiler for the back. Okay, I'm getting the bumper back together, people. See, right here I had to cut the seam. That's where I cut it so I could shorten it. So I re-fiberglassed that and used Bondo hair to put that back together. I still got to put another layer of Bondo on it. Not Bondo, but fiberglass. Do a light sanding, and then any imperfections, fill it with the filler. Okay, so I still got some work to do right here on this seam where I cut. And that seam where I cut, that looks pretty good so far. This right here, I had a big crack in the old finish. This white is like a hard shell. Sometimes it cracks and then it peels off. So I have to fill this, sand it all back down to the white, and then put that white shell back over it, and then I can re-primer it. Okay, so right there's that's where I spliced. Like, yeah, imperfections. So what I do is when I put the fiberglass, or if I put the filler in, I drill holes, and that gives it something to attach to. So the filler will go all the way through, and it reinforces it. And then what I do is I take like a light layer of fiberglass cloth and resin, and I put down, because this whole piece, this whole chunk was knocked out, so I had to put that in. And so I've got another layer of fiberglass I will lay all the way across here and across this, and then I'll sand that, lightly sand that down, and then if there's any filler needs to go in, I'll put filler in it. This side I still got to put another piece of fiberglass, which will probably go from about where this hole is here, and then I'll bring it all the way around to this, going behind this. It's going to be one big long piece. So I had to cut this whole front little ledge off here, this piece, to shorten it. Okay, I reattached this at the bottom where I had to cut it. Same here, I've got this one going back together. It seems a little bit off, but I had to do that in order to make the rest of it match all the way around. Now I just put like a patch about that wide around there, hold that in place, and I'll go over that with some Bondo hair to strengthen it, and then I'll put another piece of fiberglass over that. So this is what I have left to do. I gotta cut, like, in order to shorten this I had to do some trimming on it, so I had to cut this all the way around there. I've got, as you can see, I've filled some holes that got punched in it, and that requires some light sanding. Let me see if I can find that piece. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I think I left it over here, right here. Okay, so I had to take this piece out right here in order to shorten it, because it's too low and I keep busting it. And it's like the third or fourth time I've had to repair this bumper. It's just too low for everyday driving. So I'll have to trim this to proper size and slide that back in there, and then fiberglass, and then epoxy it back in, and do all my, and it'll be done. Alright, it's kind of time consuming because you got to wait for the resin to set up before you can sand on it anymore. So anyways, I was just wanting to show the progress of what I've done. I fixed my headlights. There's some little flanges on the headlight that were broken off from the original modification that someone did to it. So I fixed those back, so I was able to mount my headlights in there so I can still temporarily drive the car. But this right here, there was a big chunk taken out of the tip of this, so I have to build that back out. I'm doing it with fiberglass and resin, the same stuff I've been talking about using for it. It's supposed to come to a tip like this, but that's the thing with fiberglass body parts. You know, they're liable to crack. They don't ding, they just crack or get holes punched in them. Alright, I'll keep you updated on how I'm doing. Look here, people, I got 3 things going on, 3 or 4 things going on at the same time. I got me some Zoloft, buddy. Got my nerve medication for anxiety. I'm getting things done. I'm getting more done today than I have in the past week. It's almost got this back together. Got one more seam right there. I got a fiberglass together and put the epoxy resin. I got the rest of it together. I had to cut me a little gap right there to make it all fit, but I'll fix that. I'll put some more fiberglass back in that. I got to sand it all down to this white. That's a coating that goes over your fiberglass thing, people. And it's a hard shell. Alright, like I said, I got it all together. Just got to smooth it up. Put a piece of fiberglass on that other side. I might be able to install that thing tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, I got a dent right here I'm working on. That's the second project. Back here, there's a dent. I pulled it out, but it didn't come out quite smooth enough. It didn't match the seam of the door right there in that area, and the gap's like kind of off up and down the edge of that door. I gotta fix that. And it wasn't really noticeable, but I'm gonna fix it while I'm at it. My other project is over here, and that's where this was broke off. I'm rebuilding that fiberglass and then epoxy. I gotta take my headlight back out, smooth out the edge here, and then fill it with it's like a filler epoxy. And then that'd be done. Then I'm working on this is my louver for the back of the car. Yep, I'm gonna try to get a good jump on that today. And hopefully if I finish up that right there, that bumper, then I can get hot and heavy on this. Alright, yeah, I'm switching between jobs as the epoxy and the fiberglass sets. So, let me get back to work here. Okay, people, it's all back together. Looks rough, that's because of all the different type of epoxies I've had to use and the fiberglass, but it's been shortened by about 3 inches, or should I say heightened, and now I just got to fine sand, primer, and paint, and then I'll have my Cougar back together, people. Okay, let me get back to work. Okay, so So I'll put that back together. Now I'm starting to do the gel coat, which is that white outer shell. And I'm letting the first layer dry. Then I can put on the second layer. Okay, so I put some gel coat on it. I need about 2 more coats of the gel coat. I gotta sand it, and then put 2 more coats on it to smooth it out nice and smooth, and then some touch up around those vents down there in the back of the bottom there, and it'll be ready to prime. Alrighty. Okay, people, I just laid my second layer of gel coat. The gel coat is like a hard shell. I probably mentioned it before. Well, I'm waiting for it to set up and dry. And I do some sanding, smooth it out, and I give it one more good coat. And then be ready to prime, paint, and put back on. Been a long, tedious process, but I'm almost done. Okay, I got the last coat of gel coat on it. I'm just waiting for it to set up, and I need to sand it with like some 220 and then go with some 400, and then I can primer it. You got to go over 400 because primer won't cover any scratches larger than 400. Alright, I'll get back with you on it later. Okay, the gel coat's done. I've started sanding, and it's almost ready for the primer. Alright, everyone. It's the first coat of the silver primer. It's a primer slash paint. You know, once this dries, I do a wet sand with 400 grit and then 600 grit. Then I'll go back over it and give it another coat. Then I'll come back and I'll go over it with 800 grit, wet sand, and then give it its last coat. Okay, so this is the rear firewall. The rear core panel that I had to pull back out with come along. I weld a hook to it and then I pull it up to come along. So there's a slight bend to the left end, so I went ahead and I filled it with fiberglass, just the glass epoxy. Then I put a light gel coat over that too. That just has to be wet sanded and then primered and painted, and that'll be done. Hey everyone, got the second coat of paint on, all except for the very edge back there, and I'm going to work on that later. I gotta position in a better position. Okay, so this is it's a lacquer silver metallic. It's a let me see what they call it. It's a universal silver. But I had the actual paint for this, the color to match the rest of the car. So I'm just going to do one coat of that over top of this after I do a 800 wet sand on it. And then I'll apply the lacquer, and then I can put my screens back in the front of it. And I've come up with an idea. I actually made this right here. This wasn't there. I put it in for more stability, and then I'm going to put a light back in there. It's going to be kind of cool. Okay, let me get back to work on it. Alright, people, put my screens back in. I got to bolt those in tomorrow. It's getting dark. Mosquitoes are like tearing me up. But yeah, it's just about done. Now I got to paint my little black stripe. I decided to go with black instead of red. And I got a rubber piece that goes on the bottom in between here and here that I gotta, well, it's plastic. I gotta work on that. If I can't work on that and get that back in shape, then I made it out of a old bucket from Walmart. They're like $3. I'll go buy one of those. I'll just make a whole new one. Okay, yep, she's coming together, people. Okay, I got everything in. I had to go back and do some fine sanding, but as you can see, I finished up my light. That's done, and all I gotta do is put my fog lights on and build this centerpiece right here, from here to over here, and I'm going to make that out of a plastic bucket. So, yeah, I got to repaint my black screen here because oversprayed with some silver. But it's getting close to being done. Okay, everyone, I'm done with this daggone bumper. I'm not messing with it anymore. I'm gonna slap it on. It needs more. It needs to be. There's some spots that's rough. I need to sand down again. I did sand some of them, and then do the touch-up painting, and it'll be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm done with that. I got other things I gotta do to the car. It's starting to get cold. Put some fog lights behind that screen, LED. And then I made this custom light in the middle, and that's about it. I made this piece. I still gotta, once I get it on, I gotta hit it with the heat gun and reshape it. I gotta make one more bracket that goes right here, but I don't have the metal for it, so it'd be good like it is for now. Alrighty, that's it. Okay, so this is the bumper. I got the bumper back on, and I had to put some steering parts on, and then there's a it's like an under fender thing. I can't remember what it's called, but they go to keep water off the motor and stuff. I had to put those back on, and it's getting ready to get dark, but I'm going to redo the red with black, the red streaks with black or red stripes. Black stripes. I think it just looks classier. That's my light, the finished light, and then I got fog lights behind those two vents right there. Alright, and I'm getting ready to wire up the lights that I put in there. So I did some sanding. The old epoxy started cracking here. We used to call this blue glue in the military. I don't even know if you can get it anymore. I think it's been replaced with the what we call it, the gel coat, the white. But what we used, the blue was more like a Bondo, except it was like military grade. So I gotta repaint that and redo my stripes, but I'm probably, yeah, that's the last of the painting I'm probably going to do this year. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it like it is, and then I might give it like one layer of clear coat just to protect it over the winter, and then next summer just I might be able to be back over at my place and use my actual air compression spray gun and do like a really professional job instead of a spray can paint job. Alright, once I get the lights working, I'll show you that. It's about to get dark though, so. Okay, so the bumper's finished and it's back on. We've got the wiring to the lights ran to the inside. I just got to hook it to the fuse box and the switch. I'll probably do that in the next couple days. I got a lot of stuff going on today and tomorrow. Plus it's raining.